Flash episode, we know that Wildmoore is married. Who takes who last name? Or do they hyphenate it?
Like West Allen.
Is it Moores? Wildmoores? What are we doing?
Wildermore.
Oh, Wilder.
More Wilder.
I think we should just keep it Wildmoore.
Megan says she wanted the Moores because she's the alpha.
I'm definitely the alpha
Megan
in this
is ready
situation.
to dominate.
I definitely think her name is Ryan Moore, but if she wants to say Wildmoore, that's fine. First of all, the fans have already spoken. I don't do a lot of this going back and forth. Y'all named it Wildmoore, then it is what it is. Yeah, I like Wildmoore. I think Wildmoore is hot. Yeah. So that's what we would name ourselves.
Perfect. I love you guys.
Let me settle down.
Go for you all the time, like 5 times.
So let's just do it. So we were holding hands, and at some point, one of us would end up down here.
All the time, like at least 5 times.
That's because I'm in control of this. Let's just get that straight. I'm okay with that. I like control. I honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. So what we need is an edit to show us this. If y'all can create
on Twitter.
I need an edit. I don't remember that. TQ, we need an edit so I can see this.
Maybe they got the wrong show.
That's the problem. There's not 2 women black leads on any other show, so they're probably talking to us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I love you both. I love Sophie and Ryan. They're both individually my favorite characters on the show, and together, my favorite ship. I wanted to ask, I know in season 3 there is a scene where Luke is grilling Sophie when they're breaking in, and Sophie's like, admits that she fell for Ryan before she knew she was Batwoman. So I'd like to know what you think is the moment Sophie fell for Ryan, and Javicia, if you have a guess of when Ryan fell for Sophie.
I think that Ryan started to fall for Sophie. Okay, I think that there's, like, innately Ryan's a protector, so she will always put other people before her. And when she didn't, she may not have realized it, but obviously it happened during Coriana. To watch Sophie go to bat for her like that and fight for her, and then be willing to sit beside her as she was dying, I think that that's when she realized, like, oh shit, I like her.
I mean, I don't know, because she was always giving Sophie so much shit, you know? So I'm gonna just give a Megan answer. Sophie fell for her when they got it in.
What?
Hello?
We need context.
Because Sophie was in her hoe phase, right? She was just living her best life, hooking up with all these different women. So you was giving her so much shit.
All that talk at the cabin was just your... That's crazy.
She said fell in love. You were
can't
still giving
trust
me so
nobody.
much shit, and then but we fell deeper in love once we.
She was just running game on me.
But Sophie liked her and everything then, but then they fell in love after they made love.
I don't know why she faking.
What?
Because if Ryan would have moved on, her little heart would have been broken.
I don't know. You guys come up with the answer. I don't know how to answer that. I do remember that line when Sophie had said that, and remember, like, so much has changed with what they were doing with Sophie and Ryan, so that's why I said, like, that when I remember reading that, and I actually remember talking to Cam about it. It was like, it was, for me, so out of the blue, and so it was just like, wait, what? So yeah, there it is.
Thank you.
Step right up.
Shout out to Amanda. She's like the first fan I ever talked to, ever.
You guys give it up for Amanda.
Yes. Shout out to Amanda.
OG.
Listen, before she even talks, I do want to say this. Like, when I first started, y'all know I was, like, scared of fan interaction just because of how everything happened. And I would do a live, and she would be the only one I talked to because she was just so nice to me. And, like, she was kind of like a safety net for me. And then I would start doing the one-on-ones in the lives, and I would always pick her because she was just always so kind. So you're so dope. We really appreciate you. You're a huge part of my journey. I'm gonna cry.
I came out on the day that the series finale ended without knowing that it ended. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, wait, to your family?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I wrote like a little letter to them and everything, and yeah. But my question was, if there was a season 4, what would you guys want for your characters and like the storylines and everything?
I know y'all want some Wildmoore talk. I think for me, like, I want more Batman villains. Like, that's what I wanted to play with. I wanted to get more into the Batman world. I wanted to do more of that. So to be able to not do that kind of sucked.
Yeah. What would be your villain if you could pick one?
I wanted them all. Like, it would have been really cool to play with Catwoman. Like, having that, because we got to speak about Catwoman in season 3. And so wouldn't it have been cool if that would have been something we played with, and at the end it would have revealed that it was Sophie, and then there's like this like torrid love affair because of the fact that maybe Batwoman kind of likes Catwoman, but then obviously Ryan's in love with Sophie. Like, come on, my God, yes!
Catwoman busts out her whip.
As long as it's not a belt, we're good.
I mean, and I guess for Sophie, it just would have been nice to see her have a job. You know what I'm saying?
Commissioner Sophie.
You know, Catwoman would have been awesome, but it's really the commissioner. That just would have been just the bomb. Just you know, that's the answer.
You know what's crazy? Nobody knows this, but this scene where Nicole was going through her poison ivy thing, and she's inside of the holdup, and she's like going in on all of us, and she started going in on you about not being able to keep a job.
Man, that line, they were coming for Sophie all the time. You guys, honestly, it was starting to get like personal for me. Because I know it's just the character, but I remember that line, and I remember I was answering like as I would answer if somebody were saying that, but I remember thinking like, this is cold-blooded.
What was your line? Wasn't it? What did I do?
I didn't even say anything.
I didn't even say anything. So no matter what, first of all, Nicole is in the scene. Like, she's dropped in.
Yeah, she was
We're like this. Yeah. Okay, don't mess up. But we have the giggles because she's like going in on all of us. She called me a rat. Giant rat. And so when she started going in on Sophie or Megan, her line was...
Rent a cop or something. I don't know what she said.
I didn't even say anything. What is it?
Queen of Unemployment.
Queen of Unemployment, yes. That was hilarious. We could not keep a straight face, and she was so serious.
One of her best performances, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, she killed it.
Maybe she was waiting to cuss us out.
See, I think so. Like, that was the moment.
Yeah, I really feel. Sorry, thank you, Amanda.
Love you, thank you.
No, that would be like their inside joke. You would say Wildmoore.
Yeah, I definitely would say Wilder. Hey, we could be Crowley and Wilder in the bedroom.
Hey. That's where it would be. I think Ryan would say, thank you for saving me on multiple occasions.
Ain't getting no credit.
Let me think. I've never been known to be a quick thinker. Thank you for, what else would be a Ryan and Sophie
Wearing the
thing?
pants in the relationship.
Girl. Thank you for helping me reach the cereal above the refrigerator.
I think she said.
And thank you for being, thank you for not wearing belts anymore. That really helps. And thank you for being the Catwoman to my Batwoman.
Thank you.
And I know you both have headcanons to like figure out how you're going to deliver your lines or your scenes. So I want to know what the headcanon was when you guys paused and looked at each other before you kissed again.
This is the scene inside of the
Before
apartment.
y'all got it in, as you said.
Wait, was it the hold up or was it?
It was in the hold up.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was in the hold
You're
up.
at the bar. You didn't drink the drink again.
Before they sleep together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, when did it come down?
It's funny because it really was a director's note.
Oh, okay. You didn't
But
have
as
a
far as like, I remember having a thought about what Sophie's reaction would have to that, but it didn't add up. So I'm gonna let you answer.
I don't really know if when you asked the question, I actually thought you were talking about the actual scene. Because there was a moment like that in the actual scene as well. And I haven't thought about that, but the thought about the kiss, I don't think there were so many technical things because we couldn't really set up the shot the way that Cam wanted to set up the shot, and he wasn't trying to intentionally have the flag in the background. He felt like that was like, it felt too intentional. But it was the only shot we can get for the time that we were running on. So he was like, okay, well, it's there. Let it be there. So I think that's why that was set up that way. But just to give you a little bonus, I did have a thought when we did that scene, because what y'all don't know is that
I bet you did have a thought.
there's like so much that led up to that. Like, I wish y'all knew, like, this, it ain't what y'all think it is at all. Like, it's so technical, and because of COVID and everything like that, there's even more technicality to it. So even before that scene happened, y'all, we got tested 28 million times. Like, it was ridiculous how many times we got tested. We got tested an hour before and could not start until the hour started. Keep in mind, we're in each other's faces all day, and we had kissed several times before that. So we were like, what is the difference? But all right, cool.
What scene did we kiss before that?
We had just kissed in the hold-up. The hold-up scene had already happened.
I thought we were talking about the hold-up scene.
No, I'm moving into the
Oh,
scene.
you're talking about
The scene.
The scene.
So, my thoughts
Where
when there
Sophie was
were
a-
gaps in that scene was the fact that we had put so much gum in our mouth to try to make sure we maintained everything. Like, there were so many elements that was going through my head. There was also an intimacy coordinator on set to make sure everything like looked sexy, because sometimes you could be like doing sexy with your partner and it don't look that sexy. And we needed it to sell for looking sexy, you know what I mean? And it was also like, it's Cam directing us, so it's just like,
That was kind of awkward.
that's
I
like
ain't gonna
your
lie.
little brother directing you.
Yeah.
So there were so many elements that's
You know,
what I
Cam was
thinking
like,
about.
yeah. Move a little to the right.
He was doing it for
Do you remember we both like, so you guys, this was kind of cool. Like, we both just like out of nowhere wore the fragrance that we both like, that each other likes.
Yeah.
I remember that day because we have a very, it's the same one, right?
Yeah, it's clean.
And so we just,
We were winning. We wanted to make sure we was fresh. Like,
I was like, okay, this Javicia, she'll like this. And then I think we like sniffed it on each other and it was just like,
Same thing
oh,
I got
good
on
for you.
this.
All right, we're gonna take one more really quick one, and then because we're running out of time, and I know we're
Wait, you gotta get to Haley, you know, because Haley's like one of my supers. I love her so much. So we gotta somehow fit in. We'll go quick. Everybody, it's Jess. Give it up for Jess. I love you. Do you still want to be in the Doghouse or no? Because if you don't want to, I'm happy to remove it.
Megan's like,
I
this
have
will
a
be
gift for
quick.
you at the meet and greet that you're gonna like. Hopefully, it'll get me at the Doghouse.
Okay.
It's a letter
Okay.
that explains
No.
Oh.
how I feel about how they treated you.
Oh,
How they
okay.
treated Sophie. So hopefully that'll get me out the Doghouse for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna replace
Also,
it with
Jamesia, I
Megan.
love you too. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Jamesia, I love you.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, we're time. Okay, we'll go back.
Okay.
Hi, how do you deal with when you have bad mental health days?
What are we doing?
Like,
I have a bad mental health day.
How do you deal with it?
You mean like today? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally just joking. I mean, you guys all know, I mean, I get off of social media. I mean, that's like number one for me. I'm like barely on that thing. But yeah, I get off social media and I just, as I said in the meet and greet this morning, I've been doing such a diligent, intentional job to just be more present. Because for me, like, I mean, I need to change this language, but I'm kind of a professional ruminator, as I shared with you guys. So it's it's important for me to, if I'm having a bad day, it's because I'm probably thinking about something that I probably, maybe I made a mistake or I'm thinking in the future. So if I'm trying to just get myself present, that usually brings me out of it. And just getting out in nature and going on a hike.
Yeah. The first thing I do is I journal because I have to release it. I think that once it's in the journal, it's been said. It's been said. I was told that an emotion really only lasts within you for a certain amount of time. After that, it's self-inflicted. And so I have this feeling that, or I have this thing where I feel like once I release it, I have to intentionally try to let it go. Especially if it's something that's out of my control, because usually that's what gets you depressed, is the things that are out of your control. And then after I journal it, this sounds so simple. Make sure that when you're having one of those days, drink a lot of water, because you start to neglect yourself in those days. And one of the things that will really start to get you down is dehydration. And it sounds like very not like it's connected to it, but it is, because the times that I'm feeling down, I'll be like, when is the last time I had a cup of water? And then like Megan said, I try to get out. I'll go outside, I'll go for a walk, I'll go see nature, because it's important to be reminded of something that's bigger than you. It reminds you that your problems are small in comparison, And then lastly, I like to find one thing that truly makes me happy on that day. Like, I have a list of things that make me happy. Eating makes me really happy. And so I'll go find something to do that I know is like my go-to for happiness. It doesn't, and it changes. It's not always the same thing, but make yourself a little toolkit that you can go into, and don't even look. Just pick up, write down activities that make you extremely happy, self-love activities that only involve yourself, and go through that toolkit on one of those days and pull it up and do it no matter what. If it's like I go to museums, take off of work and go to the museum, because I'd rather you lose that day at work and you go do something that brings you back into your, that stabilizes you, than to ignore your mental health. That's the most important thing.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you wanted to comment or say, or?
Man, shout out to y'all. I don't do social media, but I do Twitter for y'all. So I genuinely love you all. I have grown to know each and every one of you. I see your tweets, and just know it's all love here. And just thank you for being so uniquely who you are. I love it.
Love you.
I co-sign what she just said, literally. You guys are just amazing. I love you guys as well. And even when I'm not on my Twitter, I appreciate you guys just being so loving and supportive. And even when I'm like, hey, I need to take a mental break, you guys have always just been so supportive of that, which I'm really appreciative of. And I'm very thankful for that. And thanks for just sticking in with us, even though the show's had its end on the CW.
According to Stella, she's about to get her in somewhere.